Parnelli Jones, a former Indianapolis winner himself. Al Unser's car, as I said earlier, has been much faster than the others all year, both his dirt car and his pavement car. Let's see if it proves so today. We're in the second half of this racing here. Al moving out just a little bit. Mario Andretti still has to get by Sammy Sessions to get into the battle with Voigt and Unser.
Top four cars, Jim, are powered by three different kinds of engines. The four-cam 255 cubic inch Fords in the first and second place cars, the four-cylinder Oppenhauser and Sessions machine, and the stock block Gurney Eagle Ford powering Andretti's number one.
There's see Mario still setting up to get by Sam Sessions. Meanwhile, Unser is beginning to move it out just a little bit. Just a little bit. It could, that power of his is going to pay off again today. If anybody won't let him go, though, it's the two men behind him, and that's A.J. Voigt and Andretti. And Andretti is passing Sessions right now. He's got him going into turn one. So now we have the three-way battle that we saw coming. Al Unser, A.J. Voigt, and Mario Andretti going for the Hoosier 100.
Seems, Jim, that Andretti's number one car has a little more poke coming off the corners and getting on it fast down the straightaway. And this might stand him in good stead before it's all over today.
Al Unser's lead has grown to about 50 yards now over A.J. Voigt, but Andretti is closing in on A.J. There, the leader coming out of turn four. Car number two. And there you see number 7 in second place. And number 1 is third. That's Voigt and Andretti. You can see how close they are now. Andretti, remember, we'll repeat again if you've just joined us, started in 14th place in this race, and now he is third. In a brand new dirt track car that's made its debut just a few weeks ago. They've been shaking the kinks out of it, and now it seems to be ready.
This black-coated dirt track, Jim, is very tough on tires. And A.J. Voigt's crew is questioning now about his right rear tire. They're wondering if the wear factor is so high that it's diminishing the speed of the car. The top three cars now, Ford power, the only Ford engines in the race.
And the next item of interest, it appears, might be Mario Andretti trying to get by A.J., but that's not too imminent, although he's a matter of only 20, 30 feet behind him. He does not seem to have made up too much ground in the last couple laps. Okay, there the relationship from Voigt. That was from Andretti to Voigt. There's A.J. in the car number 7, and up in front, car number 2 here, Al Unser, the leader. Coming up a little bit later, we're going to see the return to the ring of Muhammad Ali, along with a few words from the champion himself. But here's the battle for second place at the moment between two of the great names in racing. A.J. Voigt of Texas, Mario Andretti of Nazareth, Pennsylvania, born in Trieste, Italy. A.J., who has confined almost all of his racing to the United States, but on one occasion went to France. A.J. went to France after winning the Indianapolis 500, and just that easily, it seemed, won the 24 Hours of Le Mans to become the first and still the only man in history ever to win Indianapolis and Le Mans in the same career, and he did it in 2 weeks.
He's a tremendous driver, Jim. No one could dispute that. 60 laps into the competition, 40 laps to go.
And while these two battle, remember, Al Unser's up in front of them, stretching out his lead. He's got about 100 yards on them now. Great racing for second place, though. That 100 yards could disappear, of course, in one flip of the wheel. One slight loss of power on his engine. The battle for second continues, and we'll be back live in another minute on the Hoosier 100 automobile race from Indiana. And the leader is Al Unser, who is now stretched his lead to 3 seconds over A.J. Voigt. A.J. and Mario Andretti still battling for second place. Almost nose to tail.
They've been hugging the inside rail ever since the green flag wave, Jim. The track conditions today, not exactly the best. Not loose and heavy the way the drivers like it, and the way the spectators like it too, but hard and slippery. And it's like a dance floor out there for these drivers. Unser in front, if he should win, will be his 7th victory of the year. There's 13 races been held. This is the 14th, and the next one comes up a week from today at Sedalia, Missouri. And on September the 27th, the national championship cars move to Trenton, New Jersey for a 300-mile event.
We hope when those USAC races are in your area that you'll go out to the racetrack and see them for yourself. They're really something. Mario still sitting there. Maybe he's not quite ready to make his move on A.J. There are some of those USAC former events, by the way. Sedalia, as Chris indicated. the Trenton 300 in New Jersey, the Sacramento 100 on October 4th, the Bryan 200 in Bryan, Texas. That'll be the first USAC race at Bryan on October 18th, and the Phoenix 150, which will be presenting live once again on ABC's Wide World of Sports on November 21st. And again, a reminder that just on the West Coast, later today, you'll be seeing Stanford against Arkansas live from Little Rock as the NCAA. And here's where it is at the moment. Let's look at them there. All of them coming to you live under sometimes sunny, sometimes cloudy skies in Indiana. It's a warm day, though. Very pleasant afternoon.
Say this, the track may be hard and slick, but we do not see any dust, which makes for excellent viewing on the part of the spectator. Quite a large crowd on hand today, Jim.
By the way, we probably should mention, Chris, once again, that this is a dirt track because... Again, we're back looking from overhead at the Hoosier 100 automobile race, and there's a spin out on the back. Ralph Ligori, I think.
It's Mario, Jim. Mario's left rear tire, Jim, was giving him trouble, and he suddenly slowed down entering the backstretch. He's out of it. Mechanical problem there. He's coasting slowly down the back straightaway.
Almost hitting Ralph Ligori as he spun Mario Andretti. We had just gotten a report before we came back to our live coverage that the left rear tire of Mario was starting to come apart, and I guess maybe it did.
When Mario slowed down, Jim, Ralph Ligori took advantage of that situation and passed Bob Harkey in number 52. Or rather, Sam Sessions, pardon me, number 77.
Right, it was a near thing there with Mario. As I mentioned, Ligori looked for a moment like they might both get into it, but it's the left rear tire, the one you can't see right now, that caused Mario his trouble and has put him out of the competition. It's still Al Unser, the leader, remember, with A.J. Foyt in second place.
Ralph Ligori is now third at number 58, and Sam Sessions dropped to fourth place. And there's the STP crew, Vince Granatelli with the sledgehammer, trying to get that left rear wheel off and a replacement put on. So you can see the big oil coolers there on the rear roll bar as Mario watches the pit work, anxious to get back into the competition.
The green flag is still out, by the way. There's not a yellow flag on that.
See, he's giving an Italian sort of wave to have them hurry up with the work. You know, there are nasty stories told about Ferrari pit crews and Ferrari pit stops and so forth, and the Italian temperament is such that they want to get out and get back into the action.
I believe it was Pedro Rodriguez after he won a race with Porsche, and he used to drive Ferrari sports cars. Somebody said, what's the difference between them? And he said, well, the Porsche pit crew, each man has one job and he does it, but at Ferrari, everybody is always trying to help everybody else, which is not exactly the way to do it. 75 laps gone now, 25 left to go, and the leader, all by himself, is Al Unser, as he has been so much of this USAC racing season.
Bruce Walkup and car number 98 has moved into fifth position now.
And there you see Mario Andretti still in the pits. Looking back, nothing is frustrating to a race driver as when the horse or the machine simply won't go.
It has not been Mario's year, Jim.
No, it certainly hasn't. Just when he got this new dirt track car going, then the tire gave way. Still waiting, and shaking his head. A long, tough afternoon for the man from Nazareth, Pennsylvania.
With 25 laps to go, Unser leads Foyt at number 7, Ligori at number 58, Sessions at 77 is 4th, Walkup number 98 is 5th, Mosley at number 9 is next, followed by Cagle at 12 and Weld at 41.
There's Mario going back out on the track, and we have a report that AJ is beginning to sneak looks at his right rear tire as he goes around. So you mentioned earlier, Chris, that this could be pretty tough on tires. It looks like it may be. Al Unser, however, at the moment at least, doesn't seem to be having it.
This type of hard-packed dirt, Jim, is harder on tires than asphalt, believe it or not.
See if he can get any look at the right rear of AJ. There, he's took another look. See? Look, see him looking back? He knows he's got a problem back there, all right.
Well, he's lost a lot of ground to Al Unser. AJ has lost considerable ground to Unser.
And Mario Andretti lost 4 laps while he was in the pits. So Mario is way out of it now.
It was not one of the best pit stops we've seen, Jim.
Mario didn't seem to think so, the way he was wagging his head down there. There's Al Unser. No looks back at his tires for him, at least not so far.
We can't see the board that George Bignotti is giving him, but we'll bet it's take it easy.
You would certainly think so. If Voigt and Andretti have trouble, these tires all basically the same.